What is going on, guys? I'm Autel, and today we're here with my 2012 Fiat 500 Abarth that we've been working on for so long to try to solve this vibration issue. And I heard from like so many people that it's always the passenger CV. And of course, we've been trying. We replaced the junk motor mounts and we replaced the coils with the alpha coils, and it seems like it runs a lot stronger. And today we have CVs. $600 somehow of new CVs. There are $100 in cores when they go back, so that's something. This is a giant ripoff, and why is there no aftermarket? Like, these should cost $100. We're talking about, like, that's $300. But we've got the CVs. Tyler just did them on his. I'm gonna do them on mine, and hopefully this vibration is fixed forever. So let's put this thing in the air and get to it. Let's get out the magic, the problem solver. Put it on these front wheels, get them off. Well, at least the passenger front wheel, because that's the CV we're changing. Yeah. So we'll pop off the center cap and pop off the wheel lugs there, and then we can get that 32 lined up and hit it real fast. This thing should just pop it loose. Center cap, the easy part here. There we go. Easy part, and then I drop it. Let's see, what are these? Not that. Like 3/4? Man, those are some tiny wheel lugs.
Little guys.
And the last one, I think is it. Okay, now we have to pop these keys out and get our axle nut off, which is the fun part. So let me grab a punch and we'll just stick the punch in there basically and use it like this to pry that back open. So it should be nice and easy. All right, I pulled our keys off. I just took a straight bit screwdriver, very small one, and then tapped it in until the locking tabs pop back out where they belong. Now we've got our 36 right here on the big boy, and let's see how fast, big boy, turn it all the way up. All the way up. Let's see how fast this nut comes off. None fast. It doesn't come off. All right, we're gonna have to step on the brakes. It is moving. I mean, I could probably just, okay, it's not that hard. You could just use your hand. That works pretty well. All right, axle nut. There's the CV. Now we're gonna pull the strut bolts out here. I'm gonna mark everything first so we don't have to realign it, hopefully. Man, the brakes look great on this thing. Brand new. All right, popping our ABS line real quick. And I should pull this clip for the brake line, but this actually turns out it's a 17 for the nuts and a 15.
Man, that thing just buzzes them right off, don't you?
It doesn't even understand like the problems that people used to have in the Flintstone era. It just makes it happen. There's the top one. So this is apart and our CV is out, which means we have to go ahead and lift the car now and go underneath and start pulling apart the inside of the CV. I mean, honestly, we can do this whole section. Well, that is how that's supposed to come apart, isn't it?
Yep.
Are these trash? Oh, look at that.
Wow. Is it cracked?
Dude, look at the pins are just gone. Nasty. Time to move some stuff out of our way.
Yes, sir.
Well, there is the existing one, and you can see where the CV had blown apart over there. What happens is this wears because the old CV was trash, and it starts to get like races in it, and once that happens, it's just worthless. So we're gonna have to put both in. So to pull the inner CV, it turns out all you have to do is pull these 310s out, which are super easy. You just take your Milwaukee cordless ratchet until that stops, and then again. And then again. And it should be free once you have these out, which is insane. This is like the fastest job I've ever seen.
Until we try to take this thing out and it won't come out.
I'm gonna go ahead and set that right there. And then I'm gonna go ahead and start trying to pull.
What in the world, dude?
Well, that was easy. Easier than we were expecting going into this. But this looks pretty reasonable. I mean, the bearing is excellent. I'm just guessing that all this metal wore out of there probably. So let's start the replacement. Seals are good. There were no leaks. Oh yeah, that seal looks wonderful. Looks surprisingly new inside there.
Looks better than my Subaru.
I'm impressed, yeah. If you look in there, you see where it's dirty. That dirty spot right there corresponds to this hump in this bracket. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that the exact same way and just slide this guy in carefully. Don't tear up this bearing race. Got it, Zach?
Yep.
Okay. And then right about here, we'll wiggle in the bearing. Oh, did it go all the way in?
And you're in the hole.
Wow! That's the easiest job ever.
I aligned it really well for you.
Oh, okay.
Is it all the way seated properly?
Dude, it's all the way in. Well, all we gotta do is put our 3 bolts back in. The inner CV is back in, and I've got the tin set up on the Milwaukee ratchet here. I'll get each one of these tightened down a little ways. Also, I should note that these were not incredibly tight or anything. They were just like hand tight with a ratchet, so don't bear down on them. Clearly, they are very, very small bolts, so they don't need a bunch of torque. And now for the outer. This thing is supposed to be full of grease, I think, so let's take a gander and see just how full of grease it is. We might have to go get some and pack this thing. Ooh, that's much better. The other ones, like the pins were just, they look like dust, basically.
Yeah, all these bearings.
Needle bearings.
Flat.
Yep. We've got our boot clamp on the CV here, and now we're going to try is the key word here, to slide the new one in. There it goes. All right, all right, all right. Everything should start to go back into place a little bit here. I was gonna start my nut, that way it could hold everything together for us. And it does.
There you go, keep pushing in on the top. Keep going.
There we go. Okay, that was a mess, but we got everything's back in there, temporary at least. And now I just have to get the boot clamp on to the CV here, and we'll have made a lot of progress. Super simple CV replacement complete. Probably one of the easiest ones I've ever done in my life. Now there's dowels, like little pins on the wheels on the Fiat, guide pins. There they go. Got them lined up. Okay. Thank you for the lug, Zach. We'll give it 3 Ugga Duggas on one, and that should be perfect. Cool. If you have a lift and the right tools, like the big impact, I'm telling you, that's kind of key for getting that axle nut off and on. Minutes. Check it out. I got a new toy today, the Autel Mx 808. I'm gonna throw a link in the description below to this thing because it's insane. I just scanned this. So Bcm Fault, it's the ones we expected. Read codes, give it a second here. It still has the old code from when I rebuilt that. It's a stored code, not an active code. I'm gonna clear it. We have a catalyst efficiency code, which is the one that's always there because it doesn't have a cat. It's catalyst downpipe on this bad boy. Let's go back. Look, we can read every module in this car, and I'm so happy about it. ABS fault, it was battery low. Read codes. It's real upset the battery. Voltage below threshold. No faults in airbag, no faults in instrument panel. TPM, tire pressure monitor, shows a fault because there's one tire that is low. Does it tell me which ones?
That'd be cool.
Because the car doesn't. Oh, can line missing message. That's kind of strange. It definitely is throwing some kind of TPMS error right now. We've got a BCM fault here. Rear wiper circuit open, which is true because it's gone, it's been removed. And check configuration failed, which is kind of an odd one. I don't know what that is. It's so cool. This thing has no problems except for the permanently returning check engine light for having a catalyst downpipe. Oh, and then we've got an electric power steering fault. Let's see what it is. It might be time to put a battery in this car. It starts really well though.
Yep.
Battery voltage below threshold. See if it starts. Seems fine. Let's hit escape, go back to the ECU and look at some live data. We should be able to see battery voltage. The live data is so awesome. Map vacuum, 290 millibar. We can see the actual voltage from every sensor, like the map sensor there, barometric. throttle position sensor, and the voltage driving it. That's just insanity. Throttle blade percentage. Man, 50% gets nasty on this car. It's so cool. Accelerator pedal. That thing's so good. It's so fast. And you know, when I used to use my like Wi-Fi one, it was so slow.
It was terrible.
Yeah, I could never see data like that at that kind of, in this time frame, which is just awesome. So, we're looking for, ooh, boost gauge. Oh, it's saying target boost pressure is 14 pounds. Okay, that makes sense. That, all right. And engine coolant temp, super fast. There's so much okay. See, that's like, it still seems a little low at 12.6, but. Still seems a little low.
Yeah.
Kind of weird. But this thing is so awesome. It tells me everything I need to know about every car, and I'm so pumped to have it. Oh, swipe that way. I had it hooked up to the Volt earlier, and it tells me everything about the hybrid powertrain, like data that you never see anywhere else, and it's so cool if you need to troubleshoot something. Fastest thing ever. Out for the first drive. Oh, this car is so much fun. Ridiculous. Next up, change all the fluids in this thing to Motul. Gear oil, brake fluid, oil, all of it. Doing it all.
That'll be fun.
Heck yeah. All right, test drive complete. I just dropped Zach off. It's 1:30 in the morning or something like that now. We ran through the car wash, cleaned it up a little bit. Car's looking way better and it runs perfectly. So thank you guys so much for watching. And please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do, and I will talk to you next time. Now we just have to get this right back on the lift and get to work on fluids. And there's something else I want to do. I forgot. Race Tyler. Gotta win. Man, you are as crazy as I am.
I know, right?
So this guy, I don't even know his name.
Cody.
John Ross, nice to meet you, man. Last night, I texted him, I was like, you still want those wheels from the Audi? And he was like, yeah, I'm in Colorado. And I was like, okay. He was like, all right, I'm on my way. GPS says 8 hours. It's now 8 a.m. I went to bed, and he was leaving Colorado, and here he is. So, all I knew was your name was C_ing Goldspeed on Instagram.
On Instagram, yeah.
So, I'll put that in the link below because what a crazy trip, dude. Also, truck sounds great.
Thank you. Yeah, it's deleted a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, it sounded like the right amount of mods I knew when you showed up. That's for sure. I just woke up, but we're gonna get this guy some Audi wheels loaded up here, and I might. I wish I had some like string and make you a chain out of a VW logo or something.
That would be hilarious.
What year is this? 4? Dang it.